You actually talked about that in next episode.
Let me start that just section.
Yeah.
Just gonna do that. So Yay, you're here. Welcome to How to Be a Grown-Up with CK and GK. Let's get started. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
We're so glad you're here today. Welcome to How to Be a Grown-Up. This is the how-to show with at least one host who wishes that she had listened to her mother a little bit more when she was younger. Hi, Mom. I'm Caitlin, and with me today, co-hosting for Jenny, is Ariella Monti, who is the author of Roots in Ink and a sophisticated newborn baby with a PhD in awesome.
Yes, I'm so glad you acknowledged that PhD. It took so long for me to get.
You worked hard for that one.
I worked hard for that one. It wasn't as easy as my degree in underwater basket weaving. That one was just simple. I actually had to work for the one in awesome.
I used to say stuff like that to my students. I'd be like, one day you'll be as awesome as me. Well, maybe close. You won't get this awesome, but that's part of my job as your teacher is to help you get some of this awesomeness into you. So,
yes,
just a fun little tidbit about the way that I used to roast my kids. Anyway, just a little warning. We're talking about moms today. And if that's a painful topic for you, we completely understand. And we encourage you to take the emotional space that you need around this episode. And with that, Mother's Day is nearly here when we're recording this. Mother's Day is upcoming. So I thought it would be fun to honor the moms in our lives by sharing the stuff that Mom was right about. Because, oh man, there's so much, and 40-year-old me just needs to just go back and smack 16-year-old me in the face and be like, okay, Mom, I got it. So
we get it.
Yeah. So a lot of this comes from you and I, obviously.
Right.
But there's also, I reached out for some support on Reddit because it is the birthplace of the internet or whatever. That's not what the line is. It doesn't matter. Home, the heart of the internet or something like that is what they call it. I don't know. But it's the Ask Women thread. And I have linked it here in the show notes, but I've also linked it on the blog post, and you can actually read the entire thread on the blog post. If you go there, I've embedded it there. So take a look at that if you want to get all of the advice. But these were just some of the favorites that we had. And they're kind of broken up into groups. So let's start with a couple of things that she was right about around your house. Oh man. Okay. This is from Only Texts. Clean a little every day so you don't have to spend the entire day cleaning at the end of the week. Yes.
Yeah. And let's be clear, just because we know our moms were right does not mean we take this advice and do it ourselves.
That is absolutely true. Oh my God.
We can acknowledge.
Yeah. Like we can acknowledge we're not doing it ourselves, right? Like she's
right.
This is absolutely correct. That doesn't mean I do it. And also I just got into it with my child about folding up a blanket, and he was like, I just can't fold this blanket right now. And I was like, dude, I get it. I understand.
Right. Yeah. We just want to throw this out there that just because we agree that they are right does not mean that we put any of this stuff into practice ourselves.
Okay. All right. So I'm not cleaning a little bit every day, but I do acknowledge that that's the way to do it. That said, I do do a load of laundry every day because it does help.
Yeah. That is true.
All right.
The only way to get a clean kitchen floor is to get on your hands and knees. I effing hate that she was right about that. Thank you, MBW Rose.
Do you know how true that is for me? Oh my God. I cannot stand it.
It is true.
It is. A real
really
clean
is.
floor. Like a steam mop is great. Like, but I have wood look tile, and what I've learned about wood look tile is wood look also means a little bit of that texture, and all of the dirt settles in the texture, and the only way to get it up is to get on your hands and knees and scrub. And it is do not recommend.
Yeah.
0 out of 5 stars.
No.
Okay.
No.
This one I thought was really good, and I actually kind of have this, but not the exact right way. Okay, so this one is, my mom was right about one very important thing. Get a vertical file box and put your important-ish in it. Insurance papers in a folder, healthcare records in another, birth certificate and social security cards, passport, etc., tax forms, all that important stuff you don't need until you need it and you can't find it. And that's from I've Seen Herbivore 1 on Reddit. That is the coolest name ever. I love that one. That's a really good. That's a good one. Have you done that before? Have you taken all your stuff and put it in one place?
Yes, because, as the ADHD people we are, it'll be like 3:00 in the morning. I'll be like, where's my social security card?
I sleep too much to do that, but I will panic when other people don't give me all of their documents and I put them in one place. So we get home from a trip and I'm like, husband, where is your passport? I need it right now. And he's like, it's right here. I have it. I'll go put it in the folder. Nope, you give it to me and I will put it in the folder.
Right, exactly. So I don't use a file box anymore. I used to, but I actually got these fire and waterproof envelopes.
Oh yeah,
and
I've heard that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I used those instead because we used to have a safe for all that stuff, and dealing with getting in and out of a safe that was shoved in the corners of our closet was just, nobody was going to steal it because they would have to get over all of the crap in front of it. And for what? To get the title of our, at the time, 15-year-old car? Sure, have at it.
Right, go for it.
But, go nuts. But yeah, I actually found those waterproof, fireproof folders. Not folders. They're envelopes. They've got a zipper on them and then Velcro and everything. Yeah. I found those to be great. They're easy to store and they're easy to pull out when you need them and all that.
If you have the link, you should give it to me and I'll put it on our favorite things page. That's okay. A good one. Okay. All right. On random stuff, Mom was right about. Completely random stuff. This one spoke to my heart. Silence. As a teenager, it was so irritating and unthinkable to me as to why my mom never had her radio on when she was driving. Now, not never. Okay. To me, that was the time to crank it up. And now, guess who drives around in silence because it's the only gosh dang time I have to hear my own thoughts. That, and I can't see when the radio's still out. That one's mint julep on Reddit. So, can't see. I have a friend who did that in high school. We were 17 and he's like, shh, I can't see. And then he would turn the radio down and I was like, hold on a second. I can't see. Those things don't make any sense.
It's so true.
But it is true, yeah.
Yeah, no, I still have to have music on in the car, but I totally understand the need for stuff. That was me yesterday.
Yeah.
I think that was me yesterday.
Yeah.
I just need to hear nothing but the buzzing in my ears because...
Right, the voices in my head are all I need most of the time.
Right. Exactly.
Seriously.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Oh my god. So, Atomic Attorney 274. I always used to pick on my mom for changing into her pajamas right after dinner. Why? It's still late out. Dad, are you... I'm so bad at reading. This is why I don't narrate books.
I'll do it for you.
I'll get it. Okay. Restart.
We're leaving all that in.
Okay. Oh, I never said you could take it out. I'm just saying I'm restarting.
Okay. All right. Restart. Atomic Attorney 274 says.
It says, I always used to pick on my mom for changing into her pajamas right after dinner. Why? It's still light out. Dad and you are really not going to go out for the rest of the night? I wouldn't change until right before bed, just in case something fun came up. But now I change into comfy clothes as soon as I get home, no matter what time of day it is, and even if I know I'm going out later. And I prefer staying in now, even on the weekend.
Preach.
Yes. Yes. Now,
Get
I am
in
home
those
and
jammies.
right. So now I have daytime pajamas and nighttime pajamas.
Oh, seriously. Oh, yeah.
I'm a yoga teacher who works at home. So basically I live in some kind of pajamas, but I've got my day pajamas and my night pajamas. So
I definitely do this. The one thing I don't do, I don't know what it is about me and being without shoes on. If I don't have shoes on, apparently I just sit all day long. But if I put my shoes on, like, or even just flip-flops, just something on the bottom of my feet, I will actually get up and like do something productive. So
yeah,
I don't know what
I've heard people do that.
Yeah. But so I'll like wear like the comfiest possible clothes, you know, at home and then put on shoes. Because slippers aren't it. Like I can't do slippers.
Right.
It's not enough of anyway. But yes, this is absolutely true.
Right.
Okay.
No, I get it.
This one had me cracking up when I read this. Stress and Screaming says, how dare my mom tell me my shyness would wear off as an adult and I'd be shaking my butt in the club with reckless abandon. Because when I got to 21, I froze my vicious twerking in the club as I was hit with the memory of her saying that to me. And I thought she was right. You're in the club and you're dancing in your weight. You're like, oh, mom told me I wouldn't be this shy anymore. That's hilarious.
I mean, just wait until you like you're in your late 30s, early 40s, and then like I have to say that you're never shy again, but all those insecurities are gone.
Well, I think especially for those of us who have birthed a child, there is no shame anymore. Like you get to a point where you can't have shame because if you do,
right,
all of that will come. You'll relive it every day once you have that child. It's awful. Yep. Okay. On beauty tips, my mom said your coat should hang below your skirt hem. I thought that was stupid and it made you look like a flasher. So I always wanted my coat to end a couple of inches above my skirt hem. No, she was right. It looks classier her way. And that's from A Little Night Musing. I love that one. And I've always felt like I see what that person means by like looking like a flasher, but I do think it looks better to have the hem lower than the skirt line.
Yeah, I agree. It actually bothers me even with like regular jackets. Like when I wear like my puffy vest or something in the fall, and I'll wear like a long cardigan underneath it, and I like hate that the cardigan hangs longer.
Out.
Yeah, like depending on the length, I'll like tuck it in.
Yeah. That's why I don't understand crop jackets. You have to wear a crop jacket with a cropped shirt.
Right.
I don't like anyway. Okay. Next one.
From Thomas and Anna?
I guess.
Don't overpluck your eyebrows.
Gosh.
I never did this.
You're Italian.
I don't think there's a way that I could overpluck my eyebrows as an Italian. Like that, my facial hair is going to come back regardless of what I do with it. But as a child, as an elder millennial.
Oh, we know.
Just don't do it.
The number of women that I can like pinpoint ages because of the current thinness of their eyebrows, because I know what we all did to ourselves back then. I never overdid it either because I've never had like the giant caterpillars that like became very popular several years ago, right? I've always just had to clean them up, but I mean, there are still days where I'm like, man, I should have left that part because now it's still a little thinner than I want. But anyway. Okay. Yep. This one, I'm saying the word at the end of this. because I have to. This is from a deleted user. I don't know who you are, but this is so true. Blend your foundation down your neck, damn it. Yes. And if you're putting bronzer on your jawline, like blend that and then just make sure like there's no hard line on your neck.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going for like that look anymore. It's just not a thing.
Right. No. I'm actually going to New York, and my cousin is a makeup artist, and I texted her this morning and I was like, I need you to help me find a foundation that works.
Totally.
Because I feel like this happens unintentionally, where I get those like hard lines and it looks fine, like
until you see yourself from the side or whatever, and you're like, oh.
Right.
Brushes are your friend. Like I end up brushing it like into my hair almost, because I'm just like get blend. Anyway, but
Yep. So PM me your cat's feet says,
love Reddit so much. People are so funny.
This is why I'm not on Reddit. I am not this witty to come up with such a funny username.
Mine is just whatever the platform gave to me, but that's a good one. All right, PM me your cat's feet.
So PM me your cat's feet says absolutely 100% sunscreen.
Oh
yes.
My gosh.
Yes.
Mom, you were so right. The number of times I would intentionally go out. I have red hair and freckles. What was I thinking? I would go out and cook myself. And I would be in so much. There were some times where I burnt myself so bad I would throw up, because I was like, no, I don't need sunscreen. Let me put on some oil and see what happens. Literally cooking myself like Kramer in that Seinfeld episode. Insane.
Yeah.
I wear sunscreen every day now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And not even that. For us, it was more like the beach umbrella, or like getting under the shade. Like my mom was big about the shade. Like, get in the shade, bring the umbrella, and I'm always like, why? Why do we gotta do that? Why do we gotta bring... Now, forget it. Now I'm like, give me a tree.
Yeah, if I don't have shade, I'm not going. Like, I will wear a hat. Like, I hate hats, like, because I hate how I look in them, but I will wear a hat. I mean, I use sunscreen every day. I have retinol all over my face, because your girl's gotta keep something on point here. And if everything else has gone to hell, then I've got to have something looking okay. So I retinol all the time. And like, if there's no shade, I'm not going. Like, it's just not. Yeah. And it's Texas. Yeah. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And being in North Carolina, forget it. Like, I will find the shade I love the sun. I love my lizard time, where I just like bask in a sun puddle. But I,
like
especially now, like a cat. Like, I gotta be in the shade at the beach.
Everywhere.
We have 2 umbrellas now.
Yeah. And
I get it.
It's not even about the heat. It's about the sun cover. Like, in Texas, you're going to be hot no matter where you stand. It's not about that. It's about cooking myself. Yeah. Right. Okay. So true. Sorry, Mom. You're right. Okay. On life lessons, this is where it's going to get a little deep sometimes. Okay. My mom complained about how quickly time passed. Oh, my mom always says the days are long, but the years are short. It seemed like she was always telling me that time just flew by and it was already almost Christmas, or time for school to start up again, or the weekend already. To me, time dragged like a snail through molasses. And now that I'm much older, I cannot believe the speed at which time passes. I'm complaining about it being Monday, and in no time at all, I'm sitting at Thursday. Then the weekend is here and gone, back around. Then again, Mom was right. That's from Monkey Cat Dog.
Yeah.
So true, right? Like, days are long.
I agree.
Years are short.
Yes, that's true. That's very, very true. All right. Bell0516 says, I thought my mom was just trying to make me feel better and not hurt my self-esteem even more when she'd tell me that people at my middle school and high school were just shallow and immature. She told me that I wasn't the problem. I just went to school with kids who were too mean or stupid to appreciate what I had to offer. Now as an adult and a teacher myself, I realize that my mom was right. I was a little quirky, gifted, identified only child who had braces, acne, freckles, frizzy hair, and I was fat. Girl, I get you. I feel that. But I had a good heart and I was true to myself. There are a lot of shallow and cliquey people out there who don't care if they bring other people down.
Oh, that one
Man,
breaks my
middle
heart.
school and high school's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, that one hurts. She's right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so hard to see it when you're in it. Like, that's part of why I taught middle school, because it's like, middle school is the worst part of my life. I can't. I've been through a lot of stuff as an adult, and middle school was by far the worst, and where most of my trauma comes from. And this poor thing. But her mom was right. Yep. This one. The patriarchy, LOL. I used to roll my eyes when my mom would point out problematic patterns in our society. Like when I was watching The Little Mermaid, she would remark that it's not the best message to send to little girls, amen, that the main character gambles away her family that loves her for the chance of being with an older man when she's only 16 years old. At the time, I insisted it was romantic. Now I'm like, WTF was that? Kool-Aid Girl 40. It's so true. It's so problematic.
Is true.
It's so problematic. And like, there were shows that would be, that are popular shows that my mom was like, no, you can't watch that. That's like The Simpsons. Right. I was not allowed to watch when I was a kid because like the messaging, while as an adult, it's meant for adults. It's not a kid's show, right? It's supposed to be a cartoon for adults. And as an adult now, I understand and see the humor and the nuance and how valuable that show actually is. But as a child, like, just because it's a cartoon does not mean it's meant for kids. And my mom was very aware of that. And I have to say she's definitely right about some of those patriarchy things for sure, too.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Oof.
Be careful who you choose to spend your time with. She was right. I invested too much time and emotions into a scummy and abusive ex-boyfriend and sketchy so-called friends, all who hurt me in the long run, and I'm still recovering from the scars. I just wish she was still alive so I could thank her and hug her.
Oh,
Ritz to fly.
Oh, baby, sweet girl. Oof. Yep.
Yeah, she's right. Definitely.
Be careful who you choose to spend time with. Very true. Okay.
Yeah.
My mom is from the Caribbean, and she had this weird saying when I was a teenager. Your friends will bring you out, but they won't bring you back. It means people or friends will help you get into sticky situations, but they won't necessarily help you get out of them. And that was Ash tea time. Seriously, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Oof. That kind of that relates to the one before it, because your ride or dies will be the people that will get you into trouble, but then they're going to get you out of trouble.
Or at least take accountability with you. Right?
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
This is why you and I text each other with a shovel on a regular basis. If you know the shovel, what it means. Am I wrong? No.
Oh,
no.
No.
There's a reason we text. You and I and our two girlfriends, Joey and Brenna, we love you, they're also moms. The first thing that comes out when it's like, can I vent? Or I'm angry, can I share? One of us will show the shovel. We know what's coming.
Right. Before we even before the
we don't
story
even know what
is
it
even
is,
shared.
right?
It's just all right, I got it. I'll meet you there.
Those are the people you should be spending your time with.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. You cannot change someone, accept them for who they are, or leave them alone. Individual cry 0.
Oh,
you cannot fix him.
Nope.
You cannot.
But he loves me. Nope.
No,
he don't.
No, you cannot fix them.
No, you can't fix him.
No.
Yeah, I'm just thinking what about, well, he doesn't want kids, but I do. Maybe he'll change. No. No. Don't invest your time in someone who.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Save those ones for your books. Save the I can fix him for your fictional characters. Save it for that.
And then come on this show and I'll write a promo for you. Okay.
Similarly, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Minute Fade.
Amen.
Is who said that.
Oof. Yep. Well, the truths are hitting a little hard right now. Okay. My mom used to tell me that a relationship wasn't over while I was sad. It was over when I was angry. And here's why. When you're sad, you're reminiscing about the good times and you're vulnerable to going back despite the problems that caused you to break up in the first place. Oh my gosh, so true. But when you're angry, you're actually looking at the things that went wrong and you are mad at yourself for dealing with that for so long. Oh my gosh. I hated when she would say, just wait a few weeks after a breakup because in my teens and 20s, a breakup was world ending. LOL. But she would also tell me, get angry when I wallowed for too long. Now in my 30s, I know she didn't mean to actually be an angry, bitter ex. She meant to shift the focus from sorrow of what was lost to a determination of what I deserve. That's Pink Fire 1010. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Man, that's like 5 years worth of therapy in
right?
just a couple of paragraphs.
This is why Reddit is the heart of the internet. This and trolls, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
I feel like I need to, like just carry that with me.
Yeah.
Although in my house, the line in our house is no divorce, only murder. But that's how we do things. Life insurance. Anyway, okay. We got a couple more.
Quebec Mafia Woman says, when you're in a fight with someone and you want to text or call them, write out a text or a script and then sleep on it and decide the next day whether or not you want to send it. I always thought she was acting like a doormat or was afraid of confrontation. I'm definitely afraid of confrontation, I'll tell you right now. Mm-hmm. But I realized that as I got older, how much easier relationships are when you take some time to mull over your reaction and see if the feeling passes. Yeah, I agree with that too. Because often by the time I am done writing that text, I have gotten over whatever it was.
Yes, this is true. I just tend to hold on to it for a little bit longer.
Yes.
This is why I still don't shop at Best Buy. That's a different story. Okay. As much as I hate to admit it and still get annoyed when I hear this phrase, sometimes it just is what it is. My mom used to say that during certain situations and it would put me into a blind fury. But as I've not as I've raged, as I've aged, I realize that this is true sometimes and we just have to deal with whatever it is. That's from Red Jessa. I think that phrase is used incorrectly more often than not. I don't think it means like it is what it is and you can't do anything about it. I think that's the part that makes people angry. I think that phrase is meant to mean you have to accept that as a reality and then before you can do anything about it, right?
Right.
So I think if you look at it from that point of view, and again, that phrase is maddening to me too, because it's like, well, it shouldn't be that way, right? But that's not the point. The point is to just take a step back and go, okay, yes, that is the reality. I have to accept that as the circumstance. Now I can work with that to take the next step.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's accepting the present so that you can, like you said, take the next step, move on from there. It's like, okay, like, well, yes, it is what it is. This is where I'm at right now. No, I cannot change what is happening right now, but how am I going to respond to it?
Right. Yeah.
She was right. I do need a coat and I will be cold.
Yes.
Thank you, Dems.
Dems.
I don't know how to.
Dems. DFTBA. Dems. Blah.
Yeah.
Cool. But how true is that one? The number of times I'd be like, "It's okay. I'm just gonna go out in my sweatshirt." Or how many? Do you have that fight with your son? It's freezing cold out. Put on a jacket. No, I'm fine. You're not fine.
And now we'll take it and we just like shove it in his backpack.
Yeah, so, I don't even do that. I'm like, here's the jacket. You can wear a sweatshirt and a jacket. You can wear a hat, like wear what you want. But I'm not going to take responsibility if you're cold later because you do have recess outside. So deal with it.
Yeah. exactly.
Okay, so those are the ones that we crowdsourced. But everyone has momisms. Not everyone. If you have momisms, we want to hear them. So that's one thing. But I wanted to hear Ariella's mom's momisms, and then I'll share mine.
Yeah, so she doesn't have momisms per se. But aside from, I'm not yelling, I'm talking loudly, which is pretty much every Italian family can relate to.
I like that one.
Yeah, so there's a lot of I talked to my brother and my sister about this. There's a lot of, oh, I get it now moments. So not necessarily she was right because there's nuance in everything.
Right.
But oh, I get it now. And some of these are prioritizing work-life balance. So when my mom was at work, and I worked with my mom for a year, so I saw this. When she was at work, she was focused only on her job. She didn't gossip with her coworkers. She didn't waste time. She wasn't like me, who would be like, I need to go find some dopamine and wander off and whatever. If I had to call her at the office, she got me off the phone so fast. But as soon as her shift ended, as soon as she clocked out, you don't, if you were her, if you were her coworker, you don't call her at home, you don't email at her home. She does not exist outside of the office, and she would tell you that.
Wow.
It happened.
Way to enforce that boundary. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah. And I should say, my mom is from Italy, so they have a completely different idea of work-life balance. And she was like, no, I leave the office. This is not this is your responsibility. This is a you problem.
Oh, she needs to just come over here and slap my hand sometimes.
I know. No, I get it. I mean, it's a different time now.
Yeah, it's a different time, but it's
different
also
world. Yeah.
But it's also still really necessary to draw that line. It's a good one.
Absolutely. Yeah. One thing we always did growing up is we had dinner as a family whenever we could. But if we could not have dinner as a whole family, my mom was really good about making sure she sat with us while we ate, so you weren't eating alone. And it was granted, there are times when you're just I just want to eat in peace and everything, but she always took that time to sit with you and take it as a time to catch up and see how things were really going. Nice. And just so you weren't just, you weren't eating alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Movement and getting outside every day. That,
yes.
I do that a lot now. I mean, not the movement part, but the getting outside every day.
Sometimes I just crack the window. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's another one. Window, opening the window is definitely
fresh
better.
Air. Yes.
Fresh air is good, but I live in North Carolina, so I am not giving up my central air at any point in time.
Absolutely not. No.
But I do use the windows whenever I can. She definitely, what she was right about was never being too old to achieve a goal or switch her paths. So she went back to college when she was in her early 40s. I think she was actually 42 when she went back to college, which is my age now, to get her associate's degree. And just having that family support of making a switch in midlife, which is what we all tend to do now because
I'm on my second career, so
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And kind of with that, the intergenerational family dynamics. So my grandmother lived with us for a little while, and mostly so my mom could go back to school, and I don't think that works that definitely doesn't work in this stage of life in our society, the intergenerational living.
Yeah, not for every family. Yeah.
Right. But even having the help from parents and the helps from mothers and grandmothers, I don't think when my grandmother was living with us and chasing me around with a wooden spoon, I don't think I definitely did not appreciate what she was doing for my mother until I had my own kid. Yes. And was like, oh man, I really could use a grandma around. Not to chase my kid with a wooden spoon, but, you know.
But maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. You know, if it helps.
So, that's what we came up with.
I like that. My mom has a few. I also reached out to my siblings for this. I think I got most of them. Julie has a few that she has a lot, but there's only a few that we all were like, no, they have to be in this episode. So one of them is make it about whatever they need. I have sort of twisted this on its head for myself, and it's see a need, fill the need, right? It's like, if there's something that needs to be done, just do it. There's like this kind of thing sweeping the internet of like notice and do, right? You see something weird, do something about it. You see something that needs to get done, take 3 minutes and do it, whatever it is. But hers, make it about whatever they need. It's really, you know, especially for like work. Like, what does your client need? What does the person want? Like, if you're trying to get a job, what do they need out of you? You know, like that's how, then you steer the conversation in that direction. This one, which she said to us all the time, she still says, and she's probably going to be annoyed that I don't really know exactly the origin of this, although I have heard it comes from George Carlin and a few other people. But it's, you can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. Have you heard that line before?
Oh, my father says it constantly.
Yeah.
He still says it.
Yeah. So for a long time, I did not understand what that meant. And I feel like there's two meanings to this, but one of them is mind your own business. like stay out of other people's business, right? That's probably the main one. But I also thought, like, you know, there is a piece of this where you can choose your actions, you can choose who you spend your time with, but you can't choose what they do or how they react to your actions, right? Like, there's a lot that you can control, but there's a lot that's outside of it, and just you're going to have to understand that part of it. But the mind your business is probably the one that makes the most sense anyway. Yeah.
I think my dad told it to us literally. So that you're free to really pick your own nose, but don't do it to anybody else.
Right. Well, and if you were to search that meaning on the internet, because just to see if I was right about what I had assumed it meant, I searched, and people are like, I thought it just meant you couldn't pick out people's nose, like, or keep your finger out. And then the other thing that came up was like, why it's dangerous to pick your nose. And I was like, okay, that's not really what I was going for. But also, don't tell me what to do. Just kidding. Sometimes when you gotta do what you gotta do, if you have a bat in the cave, man, get that out. And if you have a bat in the cave and you don't know, I'll tell you to go get it out. Anyway, that's another momism. This is one of my favorites. People are stupid. She's like, I know people are stupid. And she's not trying to be hurtful at all. She's just trying to, like, if you're complaining about people who are dumb, she's going to say, I know people are stupid. Mm-hmm. And if you just, I think she means like the masses in general. You know, it's like the whole not every man, but always a man kind of statement, right? Yep. It's like, I know people are stupid. And I think she just wanted us to stop complaining about dumb people, but whatever. This is my favorite one. And she'll go, what's the rule? And you already know it's coming. And she'll go, do not F thyself. It's always with a thyself also, right? So like, just don't do something that later you is going to hate, right? Like, yeah, but yeah. Those are good. My mom's got some gems. All right. So this is one I've come up for myself, and I plan to share it with my son when the time is right. But this is kind of taking all of that stuff together from what my mom has said, and this is my own momism that I use now. And it's, people are not anti you. They are pro them. So like, I'm just thinking about, like, you're on the road. This is really when it occurs to me the most. You're driving, and for some reason, you are the car that everyone decides to cut it in front of. I don't know why, but it's you. Happens to me all the time. Or there'll be like 3 or 4 in a row, and I'm like, what am I doing? There's no space. Because the 2 other cars just took that space. What are you doing? You're trying to get me killed. It's not that they're anti me as a person. They're not looking at my car and going, oh, you have a bluey magnet on your car? You suck. I'm going to cut you off. It's they're pro them. And especially in a time that we are in right now where it feels like the empathy is lacking everywhere I look, I'm having to remind myself, yes, there are people who are anti you, depending on who you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And in general, people are not trying to necessarily be super selfish to the point where they neglect other people. It's that they're looking out for their own best interest. So,
right.
So that's something that
that's a good one.
Thank you. When I feel like life isn't fair and when I feel like my son says stuff like that, I have to go, they're not anti you. They're pro them. They're being selfish, not because they're trying to be, but because they're looking out for themselves. So, yeah.
I like it.
Thanks. Thanks, Mom. Love you. Let's take a quick break.
Mom.
For links to resources mentioned in this episode, head on over to ckandgkpodcast.com/blog to find everything you need. And be sure to follow us on social media. Head over to your favorite social media network and find us at CKNGK Podcast. And now, back to the show. Okay. And back. You have obsessions? Yes?
Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to say I just discovered it. I finally remembered to listen to it. But the podcast Wild Card with Rachel Martin.
Tell me.
It's an NPR produced podcast, I think. I'm almost positive. And she interviews celebrities using cards. So there'll be 3 questions on a card, there'll be 3 cards with a question on each card, and the celebrity has to pick card 1, 2, or 3. And that is how the
conversation gets started.
Yeah, and the questions are about the celebrity's life usually. So the first one that I listened to was with Brett Goldstein, Roy Kent.
Yes.
It was phenomenal. It was such a fun interview. That particular episode is not family friendly. But I did just listen to the one with Weird Al Yankovic. And that one is family friendly. So I will say that.
That's awesome.
So so it's been, aside from your podcast, I listen to a lot of investigative journalism and,
I love those. Like deep dives. Yeah.
Yeah, like deep dive type stuff. So kind of depressing sort of stuff. And I needed something a little bit more lighthearted.
Yeah. That was how I got into Smartless for a while. I was listening to a lot of true crime and I needed something lighter. I do need to listen to I'm gonna call her Leslie Knope, but I know that's not her name. Amy Poehler's new podcast. It looks super cute and just looks like she has a lot of fun on that one. So I've also been listening to Anatomy of Murder a lot more lately. That's a really good one if you like true crime. All right, I'm gonna add it to my list. I'm gonna do it. Mine is The Traitors.
I know this, but I don't know this.
Okay, so this is a reality TV show. I'm sure it started in the UK and the US stole it, as we do. It is a group of 20 people who come to a castle in Scotland. The goal is to earn as much money as possible by completing challenges as a group of 20 people. But in the group, there are people who are named traitors. Everyone who's not a traitor is a faithful. Whoever's left at the end of the game wins the money. So if there are only faithfuls left at the end of the game, then all the faithfuls get to split the money. However, if there's even one traitor left among the group, that traitor takes all of it.
Wow.
And it's 20 people. They eliminate 2 people a day. It goes fast. And the level of not backstabbing, because that's not it. It's the people who think they can read people really, really well. They're like, I know this person's a traitor, and they are not even close. Like, I was watching one where I was watching the British version, and everyone at the end raised a glass. And the one woman who didn't raise a glass got called out for being a traitor. Well, what you don't know about that woman, or what she then tells you is, you know why I didn't raise a glass? Because I don't have a right hand. I lost it in an accident, and the glass was on my right. So it's awkward for me to reach across and raise the glass. And they eliminated her anyway. I was like,
my God.
Oh my, just because she didn't raise a glass. Like, it is wild. And the people who are like, I worked in government. I was in the police, and I know who's lying, and they are dead wrong. Like, I cannot stop
every
watching.
time.
Every time. They're always wrong. And the American version is good too. They like bring on kind of a mix of celebrities and regular people. And by celebrities, I mean like reality TV star celebrities, like people who were on Big Brother and like Bravo.
Yeah.
But I cannot stop watching. It's so good. If you like,
that sounds like that.
It's fun. It's fun drama.
It sounds like murder mystery dinner.
Yes, yes. You know, it is a little bit like Clue.
Yeah,
it is giving Clue vibes.
It's very like Clue.
Yeah. Gems. Do you have any? It's okay if you don't, because I have a kind of a big one.
I can't remember like anything that happened this week.
I know I laughed about a lot of things this week, but I can't.
I'm
not smart enough to write them down in the moment. So
I know it was. You know what was kind of cute. I will say this: my kid is obsessed with these Minecraft chapter books, and the other day, after I got done like doing my PT in the morning, when I walked by his door, I think he was still sleeping or something, but by the time I finished doing my PT and I went to go wake him up for school, he was already awake and he was reading his book, like all in bed and stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, my little reader.
I know. I love when you catch them doing that.
Apparently, like one night he woke up at like 2:00 in the morning, and instead of coming into our bed like he usually does, he read his book for a half hour and then maybe came into our bed.
Oh, so, I was like, if it keeps him out of doing it, but
yeah,
okay.
No, take it back. Then he came into our bed.
So mine is, if you're listening to this in May of 2025, I have been nominated for a Women Podcasters Award in the Education Podcast category. So I would love it if you're a listener, if you could vote for me. I will put the link in the show notes. It'll be right at the top. And it will also be on our website. And you'll probably get a pop-up every time you show up on the website, which don't care, go vote. I would love to have your support. That's my gem. And please vote for me.
Yes.
It'd be really cool.
I'm glad you mentioned it because you did send us the link for it.
Yeah, you're required to vote if you haven't already. If you've been on my show and you're not nominated, you need to go vote for me.
Yeah.
Valerie, Deborah, go vote.
Yeah, I need to. It was my phone was not happy about it. I think wherever
it's a
I
Google
was,
form, so it's not a hard thing to do, and I'll put the link directly to me. It's like if you go to it, you click on my page, and then there's a big old button at the bottom that says vote. So all you have to do is
I think I saw it at work where like the internet sucks at my job, and maybe that's when I was like, oh, let me do this right now, and then it was like,
well,
no.
you have the link in front of you right now, so you. Have
I
to
do.
Go
I'm gonna do it. I am gonna do it.
Yes. Okay, that's all I have. Happy Mother's Day to all of the people who celebrate, in whatever way you celebrate, whether it's kicking your kids out for 24 hours, good for you. That's a great way to celebrate. Or it's honoring your mom in some way, or it's giving your doggies a snuggle, whatever it needs to be, however you feel like you want to honor the mom figure in your life. Have a great one.
Or honor yourself. And you're a mom, you want to honor yourself, you should.
You really should, especially if you have young kids.
Yeah.
Man, you are in the trenches, my friends.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
With that, Jenny would say, make good choices. Love you, Mom.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey friends, thanks for listening to the CK and GK podcast.
Find us at CK and GK Podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, or anywhere else that you pod. See you next time.